From the heart of Yerevan, this is CivilNet's Daily News Digest. I'm Nյութի, and here are the top stories for Friday, February 14. Armenia accuses Azerbaijan of violating the Olympic Truce once again. Also, 3 former foreign affairs ministers at a public forum organized by the Civilitas Foundation. Plus, Armenia's human rights defender speaks out about violence against a reporter. And later, find out why Armenians jump over bonfires during the feast of Terndez. Yesterday, Armenias Defense Ministry announced that the Azerbaijani side had violated the ceasefire regime, or the Olympic Truce, that had been agreed upon at the outset of the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympic Games. The Defense Ministry statement read, "This serves as a basis to assume subordinate units of the Azerbaijani armed forces are carrying out these actions, or they are not being supervised by their central command, or these are provocations to destabilize the situation on the line of contact." In the past several days, the Azerbaijani side has violated the ceasefire regime 238 times, with 220 of them aimed at Armenian frontier positions on the line of contact. According to the ministry, 10% of those shots came from large-caliber machine guns and snipers. The Armenian side did not retaliate or respond to any of the gunfire. The statement goes on to say that the Armenian armed forces continue to supervise the entire length of the line of contact and that they are carefully monitoring and maintaining the ceasefire regime. James Warick, the US co-chair of the OSCE Minsk Group, has taken to Twitter again, this time praising the recent decision by leaders of Cyprus and occupied northern Cyprus to begin negotiations. In his tweet regarding this turn of events, Warick asked, "Why can't this happen for Nagorno-Karabakh?" The Foreign Affairs Ministry of Artsakh was quick to respond by tweeting, "Ambassador James Warick, we agree that it's high time for restoration of full-fledged negotiations with the direct participation of Nagorno-Karabakh. The administration of Karabakh has always emphasized that they need to be part of the negotiation process for the settlement of the conflict." Warick has not yet responded. 3 former foreign affairs ministers of Armenia, Vahan Papazian, Alexander Arzumanian, and Vartan Oskanyan, participated in the Civilitas Foundation's public forum entitled Armenia's Today and Tomorrow. The event was moderated by CivilNet reporter Tatul Hakopian. Their discussion focused primarily on Armenia's decision to join the Russian-led customs union. The foundation's annual report, Armenia 2013, A Year of Expectations and Surprises, was also presented. This is the 6th year that the Civilitas Foundation publishes its annual report. It looks back at the past year and attempts to assess and analyze Armenia's foreign policy, domestic developments and trends, as well as the economic situation in the country, all within the context of a changing global and regional environment. Linguistic authoritarianism? Perhaps. As it turns out, Azerbaijanis can no longer name their children Ataturk or Samovar for that matter. Baku has decided to lend a hand to its big brother Turkey and forbid the naming of children after the founding father of the Turkish Republic, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, to ensure that there is only one revered Ataturk. According to an article that appeared on Eurasia.net, the decision to unofficially ban the use of the name Ataturk was made at Turkey's request. Azerbaijan's name regulators, or the State Terminology Commission that was created in 2012, provides guidelines for proper names. In this recent move, the country is also looking to diminish Russia's cultural influence. So Dmitry and Yekaterina must now be replaced by Leila and Pasha. As we reported yesterday, several ANC activists were arrested while passing out flyers for the upcoming March 1 rally. A reporter from Chorort Ishkhanutyun, Ani Gevorkyan, who was with the activists, was physically accosted by the police. Garen Andreasyan, the human rights defender of Armenia, posted the following statement on his Facebook page about the incident. "We are seriously concerned regarding the incident with reporter Ani Gevorkyan. Obstructing the professional work of a reporter, and even more so the physical assault against her, must be punished by the law and is reprehensible, especially when those criminal acts are realized by state officials." Andreasyan went on to say that the only way to prevent such crimes is for law enforcement bodies to react swiftly and commensurately to the criminal act, and that he expects a full investigation. Early this morning, the police announced that they have indeed launched an investigation into the matter. Vahan Badasyan, an independent member of parliament of the Nagorno-Karabakh Republic, has organized a petition to demand a reduction of gas prices in the republic. In an interview with CivilNet, Badasyan noted that Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh both buy gas for the same price from Armrus Gazprom. However, in Artsakh, gas is twice the cost and of lower quality than in Armenia. He also said that the price of gas for 1 cubic meter is 290 dirhams in Artsakh, while in Armenia the price ranges from 170 to 200 dirhams. Badasyan says that he has raised this issue several times over the past 4 years. However, no adequate solution has been offered. The petition was launched yesterday. Yesterday, we reported about the 2014 World Press Freedom Index that was published by Reporters Without Borders. According to the report, Armenia was the freest in the region, and for the second consecutive year, Turkey was the world's leading jailer of journalists, followed by Iran and China. According to the Committee to Protect Journalists, these countries accounted for more than half of all journalists imprisoned around the world in 2013. These governments used mostly anti-state charges to silence a combined 107 critical reporters, bloggers, and editors. Turkey and Iran retained their distinctions as the worst and second worst jailers for 2 years in a row. On February 13th, Armenians from all over the world celebrated Terndez or Diaren Taraj. The holiday, which has pagan roots, eventually entered the Armenian Apostolic Church as Candlemas Day. Terndez is celebrated by lighting large bonfires and jumping over them, symbolizing purification and cleansing of past sins. After Armenia's conversion to Christianity, the holiday became an important ceremony for newlyweds and has been deemed the day of blessings for newlyweds. In observation of Terndez and the upcoming Surp Sarkis holidays, there will be a Syrian-Armenian cultural charity fair in Yerevan that will take place over 2 days, starting today and continuing tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Yerevan's Lovers Park. And for all you film lovers, the British Council of Armenia is hosting its British Film Festival. The opening ceremony will take place on February 22 at Moscow Cinema in Yerevan with the movie Summer in February. The film is based on Jonathan Smith's novel about love and loss among a bohemian colony of artists. The festival will run from February 22 to 27. The films will be screened at Moscow Cinema, Nhytì Cinema, and at Cinema Star Armenia. Entrance is free for all the screenings, so if you want more information about the films being screened, you can follow the link on your screen or go to www.britishcouncil.am. Did you know that crowdfunding in Armenia is the most successful and dynamic of all the countries in the region? According to a piece that was published in techpresident.com titled From Sochi to Yerevan, Crowdfunding in the Caucasus, the potential for crowdfunding and the success of those projects is most evident in Armenia. Different organizations and initiatives like One Armenia and the Fund for Armenian Relief's IO program are all examples of how crowdfunding is successful. Projects by individuals have also been successfully funded through crowdfunding websites like Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Ambassador John Heffern, an ardent supporter of crowdfunding, said, "These partnerships and funding platforms can serve as models of how citizens can affect and promote change in Armenia." According to the ambassador, the U.S. Embassy has set up a small team to promote crowdfunding. Quote, "We have sponsored several briefings and webinars at the embassy, but plan to do much more. We hope to nurture Armenians who can consult and advise organizations hoping to launch crowdfunding campaigns." And we continue with the good news. Armenia's national football team has improved its ranking by 8 spots in the FIFA World Rankings and now stands at 30th in the World Rankings, registering a record high for Armenia's team and making it the first time that Armenia is in the top 30 teams of the world. The top 3 teams in the global ranking is Spain, Germany, and Argentina. Armenia's next friendly game will be against Russia on March 5 in Krasnodar, Russia. The exchange rate is up on your screen as we take a look at your forecast. It's going to be a sunny day in Yerevan today with a high of 6 and a low of -3. Gyumri will have a high of -2 and a low of -11. Stepanakert will have a high of 12 and a low of 2 degrees Celsius. And our travel forecast takes us to the historical city of Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, where the high will be 24 and the low 11. Armenians since antiquity have had relations with Ethiopia. As early as the 1st century AD, Armenians were involved in trade relations with the Ethiopians. Mentions of Ethio-Armenian relations have been found in ancient sources such as Movses Khorenatsi's History of the Armenians, written in the middle of the 5th century. Throughout the 7th and 8th centuries, the period of Arab domination in Armenia, many Armenian Christians fled to Ethiopia to escape persecution from their Arab overlords. Armenians during this period moved to the city of Dezhzi, where they built the Surp Stepanos monastery. In some medieval Ethiopian manuscripts, the city was known as the Armenian island, and Armenians even defended themselves by creating their own weaponry. Armenians played a very significant role in Ethiopia's religious, cultural, and economic spheres. For example, in the 16th century, the Ethiopian king Lipna Dingel adopted the Armenian calendar. In the 19th century, Armenians supplied the Ethiopian army with artillery and weaponry, and traders imported and exported various goods into and out of the country. After the Armenian genocide, many Armenians fled to Ethiopia, where they established various businesses and churches. Even King Haile Selassie's marching band was comprised of solely Armenian refugees that survived the genocide. Just to note, it is said that Ethiopia was the second country to adopt Christianity as the state religion following Armenia, and interestingly, the Amharic alphabet is very similar to our own. And that is our digest for this Friday, February 14. We leave you today with the music of Mulatu Astatke, performing Girl from Addis Ababa. I hope you are enjoying our travel forecast and the Armenian connection we are discovering along that journey. Tell us what you think. Write to us at english@civilnet.am. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter to get the most up-to-date news from Armenia and the region. Have a safe weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday.